Well, yesterday, Foodie finally experienced one of Kuwait's famous rolling blackouts. You know, the thing that Salah tried to convince her doesn't exist? As I listened to her recount the story, a lot of things sort of stuck out to me as being strange. In this video, we'll talk a little bit about her story time, look and see what happened in Kuwait, and then discuss the ramifications going forward. Let's get started.
Yeah, 52 Celsius today, okay? So I'm sleeping I'm dreaming about the Burger King in the desert. And no, I'm just joking. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, but I was having a good dream, and all of a sudden, like, obviously, if the power goes out, I'm gonna know, okay? So, like, all of a sudden, I know my CPAP went out, and I wake up, and the fan is off. So if the fan is off, that's it. And, like, everything is eerily quiet. And I'm like, the power's out. The power's out. I start freaking out. Like this is possibly the worst thing that could happen to me. The power going out. And the AC. So there's no AC, there's no electricity. And I'm stupid. Like last night I fell asleep not charging my phone. So my phone was at like 20%.
So, the big thing that stuck out to me in all of this is that Salah and Foodie do not have a plan. If you've ever lived in a hurricane state or somewhere where storms are pretty frequent, you know that you need to have a plan, period. In my mind, if you're going to live in Kuwait, preparing for the summer should be like preparing for hurricane season. Have a go bag, know where you can go, and then also have supplies at home in case you have to shelter in place. Now, luckily for Foodie, rolling blackouts are a lot easier than, say, a national disaster, because they're planned, so you can know when to expect them. If she wasn't aware of yesterday's rolling blackout, then that means she needs to get educated really fast on what's going to happen going forward. Despite Salah trying to claim that these basically only happen about once a year, rolling blackouts are very famous in the Middle East, and they occur because of a drain on the power grid. According to this article on the Kuwait Times website, the rolling power outages yesterday occurred in about 40 residential areas in the country. Whether the residents knew it or not, the Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy said in a statement that these cuts had to happen in order to conserve energy, for the rest of the country. The peak electric consumption hours are 11 to 5 p.m. in Kuwait, so people are being told to conserve energy during those times. This will actually even affect Foodie's Talabat orders, as the Department of the Interior is banning all motorcycle deliveries between 11 and 4 p.m. And again, despite what Salah says, this is to be expected. Kuwait knows that it doesn't make enough energy to feed the needs of the entire country. They've had these rolling blackouts before, they actually have a history of it, and they just signed an agreement to purchase electricity from the GCC. That's a cooperative effort from the Gulf countries to create power for countries that need it. Okay, so let's go back to the weird thing now. Why doesn't Foodie have somewhere to go when the power goes out? I know in my case, I could go to my gym and take a cold shower, I could go to work, sleep in my office, I could go to my cousin's house, my sibling's house, you get the picture. Salah and his friends all have family there in Kuwait. So why isn't it just a simple thing like looking up on Facebook to see who's still got power and going over to their house? After all, this didn't happen in the middle of the night. Remember, they don't go to sleep until the wee hours, and this happened while she was already asleep. She talked about going to go get breakfast potentially, so it was already daylight. Regardless, I thought I would throw out some resources there for you in case you don't have anywhere to go either. If you go to disasterassistance.gov, there's a whole section on emergency shelter, in case of things like storms or disasters. If you're in the States, you can also check with your county or local state level for cooling centers or storm facilities. If you don't have family or friends in the area and nowhere else to go, then these are a really good option, especially if you have a medical device like Foodie does with her CPAP. Bottom line, you just need to make a plan and be aware. Find out when the rolling blackouts are going to happen in your area, and then just execute your plan. And of course, as responsible pet owners, your plan should include how to leave your home with your pets in carriers. Drop me a line in the comments and let me know what you think about all of this. I'd love to hear from you.
I was gonna say we can watch a movie, but it's, you know, what if the power goes out? We need sleep.
It's not every day. It's only like one time, once a year, maybe. Or
I'm
something.
scared. I'm traumatized.
No,
I don't want to use the elevator for at least a week in case it's not working well.
nothing will happen. Don't worry.
If it does stop, will you break it open and rescue me?
Don't panic when you go to the elevator.
I'm not going by myself ever.